Welcome, everyone, to the second round, the round of 32 of the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. From Pittsburgh, it's the 5th seed Houston Cougars from the American Athletic Conference and the number 4 seed Illinois Fighting Illini from the Big Ten. The winner to the Sweet 16 and San Antonio, and a date with either Arizona or TCU. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan along with the Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, Dan Bonner on our sideline this afternoon. Dana Jacobson. 2 terrific games, beginning with the Cougars and the Illini. What's the key for Illinois today, Reg?
Well, the Utah transfer, Alfonso Plummer, can flat out shoot the basketball. 96 made threes on the season and had 3 huge ones versus Chattanooga to wake up the Illini's offense. Now, here's the question. Can he remain hot, Dan, versus a very good 3-point defending team like Houston?
Houston, they're all about defense and rebounding, but they can use that to get out and go. They are not as reliant upon the 3 as Illinois. They're not as proficient at shooting the 3, but they are capable. Kyler Edwards right here, he made 6 of them on Friday. So that's something that has to concern the Illini.
Edwards was huge, the Texas Tech transfer. He plays for head coach Calvin Sampson. 8th year AAC Coach of the Year, 3 of the last 4 seasons. This is a team that has 3 transfers, and they have made their mark on the team. And on the Illinois side, the key may be Trent Frazier, the senior. But those guards have got to score. A combine between Plummer, Williams, and Curbelo, 2 of 16 for head coach Brad Underwood in his 5th year. An early exit last season, but they've gotten by the first round, and here they go now for a trip on the line to the Sweet 16. Our officials today in a good crew: Mike Reed, who's had 12 regionals on his resume, Brian O'Connell, 18th NCAA tournament, and Courtney Green in his 4th. The standby, Brett Smith. And away we go in Pennsylvania, the Illini and the Houston Cougars.
Houston starts in the man-to-man.
Already Carlton 3-quartering Coburn.
How about this defense keeping it outside? 3-point shot by the big 6'10" player Coleman Hawkins.
They're going to make Coburn give up the ball, and Illinois moving it well, but to complete the play, you have to make that basket.
And he's not great at throwing the ball out of those double teams.
Moore. You're right, in 27 games, he only has 22 assists.
It's Fabian White inside. Rebound is picked up there by DeMonte Williams, a 2-time All-Big Ten defensive player. What a pass by Frazier. Coburn couldn't get it, but he does get the rebound with contact inside and a Houston foul.
Yeah, Shed there trying to strip the ball from Coburn. Conversations going on down low between Kofi and Carlton already. The 2 big men going nose to nose. No one wanting to give up an inch. Here's just a missed layup here by Kofi.
Well, that's an outstanding pass.
Sure was.
Here's Coburn. 11 times he was fouled in the first game played Friday. Williams down the lane. Coleman again outside a 3, and this time he knocks it down. Coleman Hawkins almost had a double-double the other night with 10 points and 8 rebounds in the win over Chattanooga.
And Kev, to me, he will be the X factor today. We know what he can do defensively. How about that huge block he had to seal that game?
Gigantic, yeah.
Offensively, if he can knock down open threes like that, it takes this Illini team to a different level.
It's Shed with a nice shot, putting it down. One of the top assist men in all of college basketball. He averages 9, knocks that baby down, and the other night he had 12 with 7 assists. A turnover by Illinois. The other way goes Kyler Edwards. Into Moore. He'll fly for 2.
And that's what Moore does, is fly, Kevin. He is an explosive athlete. Illinois that time, DeMonte Williams took it too deeply into the lane.
Here's Plummer. That's the player Reggie was talking about. Ball was tapped out by Carlton and picked up by Shed. Cross court, Edwards. It's a 3 and it's off with another Illini rebound, this time lassoed by Trent Frazier.
So far, what we've seen from this Houston defense is it looks like they're willing to concede the three to Coleman Hawkins.
Jabbing and driving is Frazier. Kicks it on the wing, Plummer, three. Rebound inside, Taze Moore, the transfer from Bakersfield.
Wasn't that the corner where he was making all those threes in the second half?
That's the shot that has to go.
Yes.
If Illinois is going to win this game, that shot has to go a very high percentage of the time.
Roy will drive right inside with the left hand, and it's no good with a Hawkins rebound.
So far, Illinois doing a nice job on their defensive boards. Houston is one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the country.
Lost it right there, Frazier. The turnover again. Shed into Hawkins. Kicks it out to Moore, and picked up by Frazier. Houston champions of the American Athletic Conference and the AAC tournament.
Like the patience being shown here by Kelvin Sampson and the Cougars here offensively.
Hacking it in, Plummer broke up that pass. It's Frazier trickling into the defense. It's a two.
That's his first field goal here in Pittsburgh.
Isn't that something? He was 0-6 the other night, right?
He only had 2 free throws. That's his first field goal. We'll see if that gets him going.
Oh, steal here.
It's Williams, known for steals. Good hesitation with a drive into two, and an offensive foul. And they call it on DeMonte Williams.
Nice job there by Shed, rotating over to take that charge right in the chest.
It's physical already. The Illini and the Cougars. Back in Pittsburgh, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. The best Coke ever. Like the GOAT. Is this fact check? Debate the GOATness. On the sidelines, we say good afternoon to Dana Jacobson.
Kevin, thank you. You know, when you look at this Houston team, it's easy to forget. They are the AAC regular season and conference champs, but they lost 2 of their top 4 scorers at the end of December, Tremont Mark and Marcus Sasser. Now, the team knew they had to step up. One of their longest tenured players, Fabian White, texted some of those transfers you mentioned earlier, like Taze Moore and Josh Carlton, and said it is time. The guys told me yesterday, you know, we were down, but there was no time to harp on it. And now they're not just playing for themselves, they're playing for Sasser and Mark, too.
Good stuff, Dana. And also stepping up was Kyler Edwards. He really turned it on in the absence of those 2 starters and has been huge for Houston.
And also that's leadership at its finest there by Fabian White. That's a guy that's taking control of this team under those circumstances.
Off balance, there's the aforementioned Edwards. Hits the deck, rugged inside, finding an angle. May have been Grandison who got him at the 15:40 mark. Curbelo will pick up the foul. They say he has just checked in for the Illini, joining Frazier. So a little bit small. Also coming in for the first time, Benjamin Bosmans-Verdonk from Belgium. And at the free throw line is 72% free throw shooter Kyler Edwards.
Illinois, obviously, you don't want Kofi Coburn to get into foul trouble. And not that he's in foul trouble now, but you just want to give him as much rest as possible because it's clear that they're going to be attacking him all game long.
It's loose and dug out there by the Cougars and picked up by Chaney Newley in. Moore launching a long one. Chased down again. Picked up this time by White. Flying inside, Shed on the move. Can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound by Chaney.
And no surprise by that. Remember, they're the 4th in terms of offensive rebounding a game. 12 a game for the Cougars.
And they're the #1 rebounding team on missed threes. Edwards, but there they don't get it. And it's retrieved by Frazier.
3 offensive rebounds right there from Houston, but they come away empty-handed.
Well, when you're playing Houston, Reggie, your defense actually starts when they shoot the ball.
Yes, sometimes that's their best offense.
With Curbelo in the other night, they were plus 18. He puts up a 3 right off the bat. And out of bounds, no, save Houston the other way.
Nice job there by Edwards, not giving up on the play.
Houston, the top defensive team in college basketball coming in.
Curbelo does many things well, but shoot the 3 is not among them. Only an 18% three-point shooter.
Sheds of sophomore. Fabian White. 3.
Another
Retrieved
offensive
again
rebound.
on a missed three, exactly.
They're amazing.
They're #1 in the country in getting those off the miss. They play the angles well.
Already 4 offensive rebounds for Houston.
Shed channeling himself into the paint. Heavy pressure, Granderson outside. Moore, 3. Another offensive rebound as they chase it right there. And Brad Underwood is all over his big men to grab those loose balls.
Well, when do you come back with Kofi? You need a big body out there to get some of these rebounds for Illinois.
Frazier picks up his first second-round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship. Continues tonight on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU. And for more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com. Houston, 5 offensive rebounds already on 6 misses.
Well, but as yet, they haven't really hurt Illinois with that. An offensive rebound, that's just a number unless you convert it.
Ramon Walker has come in for more. Houston change right there. White gets the inbound.
It's a number that drives your coach crazy, but
I agree with you. If you can't convert it, it's not hurting you.
Yeah, but you're living on the edge if you're Illinois. You can't keep doing that.
Cheney is screen. Edwards a drive. Rebound inside Coburn.
So, Red, you're right. Having Coburn in there helps, huh?
Curbelo, a Euro step inside, and he couldn't get it. And picked up by Cheney. The Arkansas transfer.
4 of 19 combined between these two teams from the field.
Well, they're both pretty good defensive teams, and neither one's given the other one much opportunity. I think White has to handle the ball a little bit more.
Well, he's got it now, and he goes up against Hawkins. Rejected by Coburn. Erasing the shot. Picked up by Frazier. The other way, Curbelo. Cross court. Hawkins fakes the 3. Edwards there with the mismatch. But he goes back on top to Frazier.
You got to move these defenders around. The ball has to go side to side. It's got to go in and out.
Hawkins right there. White on him. Shot clock at 7. Curbelo sneaks it into Coburn.
What a quick move baseline there by Coburn. Look, it's no secret. Illinois, they want to force feed the big fella down low.
But you got to feed him effectively, and that was a great entry pass at exactly the right time to give Coburn that lane to the basket.
Team in black, Houston 2 of 12 shooting so far. 3, Edwards.
This is what we talked about before the game. Edwards, he's been shooting the 3 much better down the stretch, but on the season, only a 32% three-point shooter. And Red, you're talking about the fact that you want to go inside to Coburn, a tremendous advantage, both in terms of height and weight in there, but that was an excellent pass. And here's Young. We talked about him being able to shoot the 3 in transition, but that's just a great step back there. That looks like a guy who's very comfortable from beyond the arc.
Juwan Roberts is checked in for the Houston Cougars. Shed continues to take it down. #1 assist man of any team in the NCAA tournament where we began with 68. It's Carlton. He played at UConn. Grinding, gyrating, scoring inside against Coburn.
Now, he's given up about 40 pounds, but Carlton is big and strong. He's not a three-point shooter, but when he gets the ball down close, I think he can muscle his way past anybody.
And he has great touch. You saw that jump hook right there over that left shoulder.
Williams inside. Hawkins thought 3. Curbelo does take a 3.
Hawkins has to shoot that. He's already made 1 in this first half. He's got to feel comfortable letting it go because they're going to leave him.
Well, he is only a 29% three-point shooter, but that's better than Curbelo.
Edwards and the Houston Cougars against Coburn and the Illinois Fighting Illini. Each team is led by as many as 3 moments ago. Dana caught up with Illinois head coach Brad Underwood.
Coach, when we talked to you yesterday, you talked about matching their intensity, setting the tone, and maybe trying to take advantage of getting some threes. You've had some shots. They haven't gone. What's the early assessment?
Keep shooting them. Great looks. We're getting everything we want. We've got to find that right balance with Kofi in the game. I like everything we're doing. I like the flow we're playing with. I like the tempo. You know, we gave them 4 shots in 1 trip. You can't do that. But I like everything we're doing on the offensive, and we're getting every shot we want.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
In the win over Chattanooga the other night, a point victory, 54-53. They played one of their poorest offensive games of the season. Dan, they only led that game for 25 seconds.
Well, it was the 25 seconds that counted, though, Kevin.
Yes, it did. That's what he said.
I don't think they can go 3 for 17 from beyond the arc today and win this game. They're 1 for 5 right now.
Yep, 3 of 17, as you said. On Friday, Moore will work his way in. The bump and the shot and a foul.
I like Moore's aggressiveness down low against the smaller defender, Williams, using that size, and we talked about his jumping ability and leaping, draws contact and heading back to the free throw line.
Demonte Williams has just picked up his 2nd personal foul for Illinois. And at the free throw line, graduate transfer Taze Moore, South Haven, Mississippi, about 13 miles away from Memphis. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code now to download. Moore, a fascinating story. 5 surgeries on his leg. He's got a lot of hardware in it, but here he is back, one of the high flyers in college basketball.
The bionic man, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they can rebuild him.
He calls it his $1 million leg.
Yes, he does.
I love it. I love it.
And his Cougars on a 7-0 run. Coburn gets it off to newly instated Melendez. They go inside, and they get the 2 right there.
It looked like, is that Williams that is down?
Ooh.
Walker is down here.
Walker. Holding on to his thigh. He's out of Pearland, Texas. Missed some time early, the freshman did, with some right-hand surgery. We talked before how the Cougars play freshmen. 3 freshmen play a lot of minutes, and Walker one of them. Right there.
Oh, that would hurt,
knee.
running into one of those knees by Kobe.
It's like running into the side of a car bumper.
He felt that. That's going to leave a bruise.
And just because there was all that contact, that was not a foul. Coburn was not setting an excessively wide screen, and he was already established.
Houston on top by 3. They're seeking the Sweet 16 for the 3rd consecutive NCAA tournament. Moore on top. Melendez covering. Cutting Edwards. Carlton. Oh, look at him. Corkscrew up for 2.
How about the footwork there by Carlton? Pump fake. And he knew the shot blocker, Coburn, was rotating over. A couple pump fakes just kind of froze him.
And a very quick release.
Plummer on top. Edwards on him. Plummer tries to pry his way inside. Coburn, who posts all over the place, sometimes not on the block. Sometimes, Dan, he posts in the middle, he posts outside, but watch this nice, nifty move in here by Carlton.
Well, this is inside posting by Carlton, and we said that Carlton, he's very nifty down on the inside. He actually lost control of that ball, but he's got the size and the strength that he can match up successfully inside.
Curbelo from Puerto Rico. Oh, a nice knockaway by Shed. The steal, Moore floats to the rack.
There's that bionic leg on full display and that leaping ability in the open court.
Snaking his way down that baseline. Plummer could not get it. Moore grabs it. Shed the other way. And Houston has made their last 4. With a rebound inside, Roberts kicks it out. Moore. Hawkins defends. Under 10 to go in the first half.
Already 6 offensive rebounds for the Cougs.
Shed with a screen, Carlton, and a 20-footer. And a Hawkins rebound. And the Illini are running.
And Dan, it's not hurting them.
No, what's hurting Illinois is their turnovers, Reggie.
Who's going to put the ball in the basket here for Illinois?
Plus 18 with Curbelo the other night. He maneuvers for a 2-point shot. Another rebound, lost. Coburn vacuums it in. Melendez, Curbelo, Hawkins for 3. Boy, they are blitzing Coburn and showing him he's got defenders draped on both shoulders.
And this is just a bad pass right there, and Houston's able to get out and go. They now have 7 points off of Illinois turnovers.
Man, what a steal there by Shed. That's great timing.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly. How about this kid? Just floats. We talked about him being an explosive athlete. That was pretty explosive and athletic right there.
By the way, the kid that just hobbled off the floor for Houston back on the floor, Ramon Walker. Shed will take a breather for Calvin Sampson. Went to the Final Four a year ago with this Houston team, but they have 5 brand new starters this season.
And they're actually playing off Hawkins and Curbelo.
Another miss. Leaping rebound cobbled up by Roberts inside. And the three-point shooting of Illinois, now 1-7.
Yeah, but 3 of those threes have been taken by 2 by Curbelo, 4 by Hawkins. They are respectively an 18% three-point shooter and a 29% three-point shooter. The defense is letting them take that shot.
Edwards 3. Rebound by Melendez.
Melendez has come off the bench and given them good, solid minutes at both ends of the floor.
He's a freshman from Puerto Rico, one of the top 100 players in the country, including the U.S. and Hawkins with a spinner. And a rebound pulled down by Juwan Roberts. He's collected 3.
Hawkins averages 6 points a game, Kevin, and he has been the most active shooter on this Illinois lineup, and that has to favor the Houston Cougars.
Carlton will try to crowbar his way in.
Good D there by Kofi. Not giving up ground, but
Bumped him
using
out,
that size, yes.
Well, you're not going to bump him very far back.
True, very true. And they get the ball down low to Kofi now.
Melendez, Hawkins. 7.5 to play in the half. Foul, and that's going to go on Ramon Walker. Houston is on an 11-2 run over the last 5.5 minutes, trying to get back to the Sweet 16 and a 7-point lead on Illinois on CBS. Cougars of Houston by 7, biggest lead so far. Moments ago, Dana with the head coach of Houston, Calvin Sampson.
Coach, this looks more vintage Houston right now than that first game we saw early where it was offense early for you. Now it is defense. What can you say about the effort from your guys?
You know, let's just be who we are. You know, we come this far, you get to these games. You got one thing that you know you can trust, and that's the way you practice every day and the culture that you've developed. So, you know, we're not always going to be pretty. These are 2 good defensive teams. I mean, they're really good, and both teams are playing hard, so that's what you're going to get, especially the noon game on the second day.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Yeah, you know, their identity is defense. He said yesterday to us, he said, defense, Dan, is the hardest thing to teach and the hardest thing for my players to buy into.
Well, he told him at halftime yesterday, or halftime on Friday, Kevin, it was a great offensive first half, and he said, guys, that's not who we are.
Right.
So they really clamped down against UAB on Friday.
Illinois shooting 25%.
Think about what Houston did. They had the last game on Friday at 9:20, and the turnaround here, the first game, as Coach just alluded to, at noon.
Frazier 3, Carlton tries to take it away, and Coburn had it, and it was taken away by Carlton, and Moore the other way for Houston.
That was great ball movement.
Inside, threw it away. Coburn with the interception.
Never leave your feet to throw a pass.
So far, Houston has only fouled Kofi Coburn 1 time. The other night, he was fouled 11 times.
Well, they're double teaming him, getting the ball out of his hands quickly.
Hawkins, Coburn, positioning into Carlton. There's a foul and a miss. He'll go to the line.
You spoke it into existence, my friend. Now they're sending him to the free throw line here, where he struggled on Friday at the line.
This is a really good entry pass, and Coburn actually fumbled the ball a little bit, but that's the strategy. He gets it in there, Reggie. They're just hacking him.
The other night, he was 5 of 10 from the free throw line, 65% for the first team All-America, second team a year ago. Most devastatingly big player, an effective player in the game, and we've still got an injury here from Walker, who is holding on to that thigh, and they're going to go take a look at.
They're going to see if this
was a little bit high, maybe above the shoulders, right?
Exactly. Could this warrant a excessive foul here?
Well, you know, the other thing, Reggie, that they might look at, if you wrap both your arms around the player, then that's a flagrant foul. And so they can look there, they can see, was the contact excessive? They can look and see if he wrapped his arms around him. That's what they're looking at.
Gene Steratore is our rules analyst. Gene, what'd you see on this one?
I think they're weighing two things, and I think Dan said it well. It's the left hand that's trying to knock the ball loose on one end, which feels like a basketball play, but then it's the right hand that's restricting Kofi from getting off of the ground, which feels unnecessary and excessive in that nature. To me, I think when you go to a flagrant foul level, I think it has to jump off the screen a little more than this does, and I would appreciate if they stayed away from having a flagrant on this play.
Well, he's given up so much weight and size down low. It's almost kind of hard not to, you know, somewhat wrap around or come down hard, Dan, on Kofi. I think this is going to be a common foul that they're going to stick with.
I think it is too. Let's see.
Well, I agree with you, and I thought when they walked away from there the first time, Gene was going to be very appreciative. He said he'd appreciate it if they just stuck with it. And I thought, you know, he was going to be
Gene, how come?
He was going to be appreciative here early.
Yeah. Look, we all critique these guys, and this is a hard business. And look, I've been off the court that long to not empathize with it. The video, the slow motion, the exaggeration that creates on what is just a basketball play, like Reggie says. And now they've looked back, and it appears that Brian O'Connell has come back. They've looked back, reconsulted, and think now that restriction from him elevating goes to a flagrant one. There's a lot of subjectivity in this, guys, and we see that right now. And truthfully, the officials are in a tough position to have to do this in slow motion, 5 seconds after having to work it in real time.
I guarantee you, he's going to get fouled probably a lot harder than that as this game goes on, because he's the biggest man out here. So I'm a little surprised at that. That was a flagrant one.
Gene, did you find that guys this size, when you were officiating, were difficult? The most maybe difficult player on the floor to officiate?
You know, I wouldn't say difficult, Kevin, but I'd say, you know what, you respect the fact that they're as strong as they are, so you don't call what Raf likes to call small change on them for just being big. But at the same time, to Reggie's point, you've got to stop him from trying to make a play as well and keep him from putting the ball in the hoop and having to go to the free throw line to make his two. So you have to be able to manipulate both of those. That's what replay, that's what this F1 situation takes away from the officials on the court at times.
Well, they just had him in a straitjacket. Gene, thank you. They got the turnover. They go the other way. Edwards, 3. And that's how the Cougars answer.
And that's a great answer, and that's Edwards in transition. We've seen him with a step back. We've seen him in transition. Again, Houston is not the most proficient three-point shooting team, but they are extremely capable.
And look how much size now that Carlton's picked up those 2 fouls. He's on the bench.
Right. Yes,
you've got Cheney on the floor here trying to guard Kofi down low, who's given up about 5 inches and about 55 pounds.
Good observation.
Reggie, you talked about the fact that Coburn sometimes has a tough time getting the ball out of the double team. Well, when the Cougars get out and they get a wide open 3 from one of their better three-point shooters, they are going to take it. Just because they're a good defense and rebounding team doesn't mean they ignore their offense.
Plummer's back in. Melendez will leave. Another steal. Here comes Edwards. Got the steal and gets the 2.
He's everywhere. He had 6 threes on Friday, 2 today, and then comes up with the steal right here. Edwards putting on a show early for Houston.
Houston Cougars on top by 10. They have more points off turnovers, 12, than Illinois has points, 11. And the defense, which we've talked about early for Houston, playing a role.
Houston is an outstanding defensive team. Those numbers right there don't lie. And you heard Calvin Sampson say that Illinois is an outstanding defensive team. But Reggie, eventually you have to make some shots.
And Plummer, who was hot in that game on Friday versus Loyola, misses another 3. He's 0 for 2, and he's their best three-point shooter.
7 consecutive misses for the Fighting Illini. Here goes Shed to Edwards.
What a pass.
White gets it in. The cutting Moore for the deuce.
That's 2 guys that know one another. Great back cut there by Moore.
Williams will slip inside. Hawkins was thinking three. Plummer, oh, he's as slippery as they come. What a great rejection by Cheney. Leaping high and erasing the shot.
This is really a good play by Cheney because Plummer's just trying to get it up on the board. If he can get up on the board, Reggie, you saw Coburn is right there for an offensive rebound.
It almost looks like there's 7 Houston defenders on the floor. I'm serious. The way they are moving their feet and they are tied together on a string, this is beautifully to watch here for Houston.
Remember last year in that NCAA tournament second round game to Loyola Chicago, Illinois, a #1 seed, lost. And they've lived with that loss all season long. They said perhaps we were too tense. We've tried to keep things lighter, looser. And now they really need some of that lightness and looseness because they're down 23-11 early. Houston is on an 18-4 run.
And they certainly could use that, Kevin, but they could also use some baskets.
Yes, Moore. He'll take it inside. And Frazier watches it go out of bounds. Melendez back in for the Illini.
And Reggie, if you're struggling to score, isn't one way that you can get down the court, get the ball off the board, and get out in transition? You know, they're playing against this set Houston defense every time, and it just hasn't worked so far.
Freshman Luke Goody is checked in out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Well, he's trying to find some offense, some outside shooting.
He's really extended his rotation, and they have been playing with a tight rotation the Illini have.
Yeah, think about this. Melendez and Goody on the floor here. We didn't see any of them on Friday.
Coburn inside. Kofi Coburn has put in 6. He has started 2 of 3. He averages 21 and 10.
Well, you got to dig in now. You got to get some stops, get some turnovers, and I really think you have to get out and go.
White, doubled. Shed in the corner, free to fire. Moore. Rebound, Plummer with a leap.
Run before they can set their defense.
Lost it there, broken up by Moore as they had numbers the other way, and here comes Houston.
You know, Coburn was running right next to Frazier on that play. Coburn needs to get a little wider so Frazier can, Plummer can find it.
There's Shed. Got the screen, looking for an escape hatch, couldn't find it. Melendez there and a foul. He carried the ball. A turnover, dribbling violation on Houston. And we step aside. 10-point Houston lead. Illinois has started 5 of 20 in this one. With a quick look at the tournament summary, get your eyes down to the bottom there. St. Peter's about a 2-hour drive from where they'll go to the Sweet 16 next weekend in Philadelphia.
Fly, Peacocks, fly, right? Ooh. What a performance.
We have our Cinderella, don't we? Huh?
Yes, we do.
Illinois, healthiest they have been all season. Right now with just 13 points. You can see the fewest in a tournament game. Back to 1942, 21.
They're going to have to get rolling.
I was going to say, I know Frazier outside. Goody has it, and the freshman with a 3.
What a smooth stroke this young man has. He can let it go from deep, and Coach Underwood just looking for someone, anyone who can shoot the basketball. That's only their second made 3 today.
His high 9 in late January as Edwards puts one up. Rebound taken inside by White.
And another offensive rebound off of a 3-point shot.
They're amazing with that. Screen, Cheney. Outside, Shed, 3.
Now that burns them, right? 7 made offensive rebounds. It hadn't hurt them up until that point with another 3 here.
Melendez, a freshman. He'll pierce the paint and take it in. And 2 freshmen have made 2 in a row for the Fighting Illini.
Well, don't they call that on-the-job experience, right? You got to grow up quickly here. Here's the 3-pointer off the offensive rebound. And you're right. The freshman here getting it done off the bench here for Coach Underwood.
Shed just picked up his 2nd personal foul. R.J. Melendez at the free throw line, and one of the top players in Puerto Rico.
Well, Reggie, don't you figure that this guy and Goody weren't very prominent in the Houston scouting report for Illinois?
Well, they, like I said before, Illinois has had a pretty tight rotation, and they have. And then you said, Reg, right on the money. They're looking for anything.
Well, what I love about them is they both have size. They run about 6'5", 6'6". They can knock down the shot.
Goody is from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Let's take a look at Brad Underwood. Recruited him out of Homestead High School. First team All-State.
Not surprised. A Hoosier being able to shoot.
Well, 80% of his field goal attempts are threes.
I love it.
Moore submarines his way into the paint. It's picked up by Melendez. Look at him gallop the other way. Fine Frazier, three, no. Down he went and fouled on the play by Kyler Edwards.
Well, an 8-3 run here, sparked by the freshman, Goody Melendez of the Fighting Illini.
Reggie, we talked about getting out and going a little bit, and Melendez just takes the ball and gallops down the court. The defense collapses, and he gets the ball to Frazier.
Well, as Brad Underwood was telling us yesterday, the Illini at their best when Trent Frazier is playing well. And he struggled the other night, as we know. He has just given Illinois a 6-point deficit with a look at Kelvin Sampson.
I think Kelvin Sampson's a little bit upset here because he felt like on that three-point shot, and Kevin, I don't want to say this and get anybody who's with us angry, but I think he felt like that Frazier kicked his leg out.
What?
And that created the foul.
What? There is no such thing as kicking out your leg.
And the Reggie Miller kick is on display. Frazier is an 85% free throw shooter.
You know,
I call it momentum.
We got another game.
Is that what you call it, momentum?
It's momentum. Your body momentum. But look, Frazier misses 2 of the 3 free throws.
Right.
Here, your team is making a run here. You need every point available.
It's outside and picked up by White. Into Goody. With a foul on the freshman. First.
Now, Goody can make threes, but he is just overmatched trying to play inside against Fabian White, who's 6'8", 240 pounds.
Here you see Fabian White. Atascocita, Texas, his hometown. He was the most outstanding player of the American Athletic Conference Tournament. A reminder coming up on AT&T at the half. Greg Clark, Wally, and Charles will break down our first half and look ahead to our next game between number 7 Ohio State, number 2 Villanova. Right here on CBS. That's coming up on the AT&T at the half. Frazier, Goody, 3. Got it!
This is how you earn trust.
Look at that smile. It says it all.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What a relief. Back-to-back threes off the bench.
He has shot them back into this one with 2 threes.
Well, now you got to attack him. Get the ball to White.
You got to send help, too.
White against Goody. Coburn was there. Saved by Chaney. Shot clock at 9. Almost picked off. Inside Shed. Shed got the missed ball. Another offensive rebound.
They are relentless.
8 of them. They average 12. They already have 8 in the first half.
Moore blasting his way inside.
Oh, wow.
Heading somewhere. Putting it in. Oh, he's a skywalker.
And that's going straight to the chest of the biggest man in Division I basketball. And Kofi Coburn.
Frazier, 3. It's Moore again.
That's a contested 3, Kevin. I mean, Goody has just made 2 in a row. Move the ball and see if you can't get him another one.
Houston was up by 12. Look at him hang and drive and get the 2 for the Cougars. Back in the round of 32 in Pittsburgh, Sunday, April 3rd, it's music's biggest night. Trevor Noah hosts the Grammys live from Las Vegas. Sunday, April 3rd, right here on CBS, we were just in Las Vegas last week for the Mountain West Championship. Illinois has gotten a 4 of 4 performance, Reg, from 2 freshmen, Goody and Melendez, and they have brought them back in. The rest of the team, as we take a look at the rebounding of the Cougars, which is huge, the rest of the Illinois team, 4 of 20, and there are a lot of upperclassmen in that group.
I think they're starting to get their confidence back here at the end of this first half for Brad Underwood's squad.
It's Shed. Difference of 2 seconds. Game clock and shot clock winding down the first half. A one-time 12-point lead is down now to 6. Cut in half by the Illini freshman. Moore. He'll steer himself to the top of the key.
Yep,
fouled by Hawkins.
Right into the body. You got to allow the offensive player to come down. Beautiful crossover there by Moore on Hawkins to create space.
Well, you want to pressure the shot, but you really have to go straight up in the air. You can see Hawkins just keeps going. His momentum takes him right into the shooter, and he hits the shooter Moore before Moore comes down, and that's, by rule, that's a foul.
We heard this kid yesterday talk, Taze Moore. Came from Bakersfield, and he was an admitted hothead. He said, I had a hard time with my emotions, and the best thing that's ever happened to me was coming to the University of Houston and being with Coach Sampson, who has taken me under his wing and taught me a lot about life in addition to playing basketball at this level. But he was so complimentary. He's almost like a second father to me and what he's done for me at this stage of my life.
Look, I don't mind guys having a hothead, play with passion. Because when you pair that with a coach like Kelvin Sampson, who understands, look, young man, we can use your skill set on this team. And he has been so big at both ends of the floor all season long for Houston.
Talked about that bionic leg he's got. He's hundreds of screws, they say, in that leg. It was a stress fracture problem that was misdiagnosed. But 5 surgeries on it. Final seconds right here. Frazier trying to put in a 3. It does! Right down the hatch! And we've got ourselves a ball game. What a comeback for the Fighting Illini.
Kevin, we said they had to get going to get to 21. They really got going. They got to 26. But, Kevin, they've been doing it, getting the ball down the court in transition. No choice there. Trent Frazier, that's his first 3 of this tournament.
And 3 threes within a span of 2.5 minutes to get back in this ball game.
10-4 Illini run to Dana.
Coach, I know you like that defense early, but the 10-4 run by Illinois, how did they get back in this one?
Well, they're a good team. And they hit a big 2 big threes. The kid that came in for Hawkins, good shooter, and then that last one. So you make 3 threes, you usually get some separation. Then we miss free throws. I mean, Fabian goes 1 for 2, Taze goes 1 for 2. When you're going 1 for 2 at the free throw line, they're making threes. That's not really a fair fight.
You have done a good job, though, keeping Kofi pretty much out of the game. 6 very quiet points. What have you liked that you've seen defensively you want more of in the second half?
Just being physical, just following the game plan.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Halftime is here in Pittsburgh with Houston at one time up by 12, now by 4. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship on CBS Sports. In Pittsburgh, taking a look at the Geico first half stats. The turnover story interesting. Points in the paint for the Cougars. The shooting about the same as it is from 3. Kevin Harlan, Reggie Miller, and Dan Bonner. We'll check in with Dana here in just a second. Dan, what'd you think?
But, Kevin, we thought it was going to be a defensive struggle, and it has been. And I think Houston really helped themselves by turning their defense into offense. They forced those turnovers. They've got 12 points off turnovers. And, Reggie, we said before the game that if they can get out and run, they can get threes in transition, and they're pretty tough once they're able to do that. Now, they didn't shoot the 3 well, but they got more easy shots than the Illini.
And Coach Brad Underwood clearly looking for an offensive punch. Luke Goody off the bench here, 2 big threes, but how about Trent Frazier at the end of that first half to close the deficit to within 4?
Illinois, the first 15.5 minutes, 11. Last 4.5, 15. Dana, what do you have?
Well, guys, Coach obviously did like the end of the half and how his team finished off playing, and said that Goody and Melendez were guys they knew they could rely on. He just needed somebody, as Reggie was pointing out, that could shoot. Offensively, they said they got to look for Kofi Moore. Saw about 4 times when the big man was open, and they have to get the ball to him.
Shed just picked up a foul. As the ball was going back and forth, it's the second on the player, Shed.
Kevin, Houston got another offensive rebound, but then lost the ball. And the one thing, when Houston has turned it over, they haven't really been turnovers that Illinois has been able to convert into transition opportunities.
Trent Frazier with the ball, number 5 all-time Illinois scorer.
You have a feeling that we're going to get a heavy dose of that man down low in this second half, right?
Coburn double knocked away inside by White.
He was real quiet in that first half. You talk about the quietest 6 points, but he's going to have to assert his size and his strength in the post in this second half.
I think that's what he just did. I mean, good heavens. Those are 2 big guys. And the thing that impressed me was that really quick dribble. You know, lots of times a big guy, when he tries to dribble, he gets in trouble.
Josh Carlton just picked up his 3rd personal.
Huge decision here by Kelvin Sampson. Do I leave Carlton on the floor here, which it looks like he is, or does he bring back Chaney?
Kofi Coburn today, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He was 5 of 10 on Friday night in the opening round.
He is just so hard to guard when he gets close to the basket.
Wow, his free throw stroke looks much better than it did on Friday. Great rhythm right there by the big fella.
Brad Underwood said Coburn choosing to come back and not go pro is huge for our program. But now they've got to answer. The winner goes to the Sweet 16, Shed. Moore with a dazzling move to get free and reaching and gambling on the play and picking up a foul to Monte Williams. It is his 3rd for the Illini.
When Reggie, when we were here on Thursday and we were talking to Brad Underwood about who would be his X factor in this tournament, the guy he mentioned was DeMonte Williams, but Williams, he's got 3 fouls. He hasn't taken a shot in the game today.
Edwards. Rebound inside, collected by White.
You cannot just go to the boards against these guys. You got to find somebody, you got to block them out.
Edwards inside, lost the ball.
And we can't stress this enough. 10 offensive rebounds for Houston, but it has not hurt Illinois because they haven't been able to convert on it. Only 1 made 3 out of those.
Frazier on top, the defense of Edwards there. Williams has more on him.
Go right at him. See if you can pick up that 4th.
Carlton tries to defend Coburn and cannot. 19-7 Illinois run. Initially, it was a 23-11 Houston lead, but the Illini have come back, and we are tied at 30.
And Kofi, as he was running down the floor, almost gesturing to the Houston bench, calling Carlton too little down low.
That applies to about everybody, Reg.
Shed, defended by Plummer, got untethered from him. On top, shot clock at 2. Here's a 3. Rebounded inside Carlton. Counted, and a foul.
Now that's an offensive rebound they're going to make him pay for. But here's Coburn, just takes the ball. This is a really quick move. White tries to come, but he's too late.
Look at the reaction. Too little. And Carlton says, okay, I'm too little. Where are you, big fella? On my backside.
Well, that's a really hard rebound, Reggie. That long 3 comes straight down.
There's Josh Carlton, the transfer from UConn, played his high school ball at Natha Catholic, and gets a 3-point play. They'll quickly bring in Reggie Chaney, and they'll take out Carlton.
Well, and you got to figure, don't you, Reggie, that they're going to keep feeding Coburn?
You have to. You have to. Look at the size difference between Reggie Chaney and Kofi Coburn. Question is, are they going to double him quickly? Get the ball out of his hands. High-low.
Hawkins, Coburn, 2 on him. Short, out of bounds, and off of Houston.
Well, they went after him that time. This is not a great entry pass. If you make your big guy reach that far.
Oh, he might have been hit on the backside there by Fabian White.
Coburn so far, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. Williams, whose dad, Frank, was a Big Ten Player of the Year for Illinois years ago. Hawkins. Coburn kicks it out. Williams will drive on that baseline. Plummer, it's a 3, tee and 1 up. Rebound by Reggie Cheney.
Don't you think Frazier has to, the initial kick out, he's got to take that 3.
Reggie, I'll go you one better. I think DeMonte Williams has to take the 3.
Yes.
Edwards loads up from 3. Rebound is saved with a diving suction in there by Moore. They finally find Cheney, who's fouled. Active Cougars.
Here's the big fella getting on the floor with Moore. Another offensive rebound opportunity. 12 of the 26 rebounds for the Houston Cougars at the offensive end. And look Goody getting ready to check in early here for Coach Underwood.
At the free throw line, Reggie Cheney, who's a transfer from Arkansas, senior from Tulsa. At the free throw line, 64%. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament right now on NCAA.com. Hawkins will leave. Goody is in. Goody, in the last 13 games, only single-digit minutes and 3 DNPs.
Well, if there's ever a time to rise up, right? You're in the NCAA tournament.
Indeed.
As a freshman,
and
what
you
an
have
experience.
And you have a pretty simple job.
Shoot the
Go ahead
ball.
and shoot.
Inside, Coburn. Goody! Almost had it flying off that baseline and picked up in Edwards the other way.
Boy, that's so frustrating. You figure Coburn is going to make most of them.
It's White. Edwards, 3. Coburn the rebound, number 5.
I would still force feed the big fella because when they're going to double down, that's going to leave Goody wide open.
Foul on the perimeter. Frazier was driving.
Play
Cheney will
inside
pick
out.
it up.
Play inside out. Simple game. If you got a dominant force like Kofi Coburn, and they're going to double, triple team, you got to be a willing passer, and you got to trust your teammates.
Illinois shared the Big Ten regular season title with Wisconsin. 5 seconds. Williams could not find the open man. To the chagrin of Brad Underwood.
And it's those kind of turnovers, Dan, that are frustrating for a coach.
It's just you've got some momentum. You're climbing back into the game, and you can't get the ball in bounds. And again, Houston is one of the country's best defensive teams, but good heavens, you got to get the ball in bounds.
Fabian White nudging his way in. Coburn, rebound. He's got 6. Frazier. Goody. Moore came up on him. Williams tees one up from 3. Coburn trying to keep it alive, volleyball style.
Nice job,
Into the
Coburn.
reporter and out of bounds. Heavily contested game. The winner goes to the Sweet 16. Houston on top by 4 on CBS. Back in the round of 32. Download the March Madness Live app on your LG OLED TV today. It's not just OLED, it's LG OLED. Boy, defending Coburn is an all-day job.
Well, it is an all-day job, and you got to bring more than one guy to the battle. Carlton picks up the foul. Then Fabian White comes in, and they both foul. There's very little you can do with this guy when he gets that close to the basket. White that time was late.
You can see the scoring in double digits in 43 in a row. With Kofi Coburn. From Jamaica, went to high school at Oak Hill, the only college basketball player in the country, averaging 20 and 10. All Big Ten Conference, was not the player of the year in the Big Ten, but he was a first-team All-America. Inside Coburn! ramrodding his way for 2.
And that was all made there by Frazier. His ability to cut off that out-of-bounds play. Somewhat of a broken play, but found Coburn for the finish.
Cheney, and they go into Moore. He snakes his way for a deuce.
He can get up high enough, Reggie, and he can get it over Coburn.
We already saw him go chest to chest with him on the drive.
Williams on the wing. Plummer tries to penetrate. Lost it inside. Shed was grabbing. But I don't think the foul went on him. It goes on White instead for the first time.
Beautiful dish by Frazier. Better finish by Coburn. You talked about Moore going head-to-head at Coburn. But look, maybe this is going to get Alfonso Plummer going offensively. This is a guy who was the biggest spark for Brad Underwood in that second half. He's 0 of 6, no points, but sometimes seeing the ball go through can help you out, Dan.
Well, you talked about it, Reggie, at the Open. He is the #1 three-point shooter in the Big Ten, and Dan, he led the Pac-12 at Utah last year in threes.
Well, right at the moment, I think he's the most value to Illinois by attacking the basket. Everybody's so concerned about Coburn. They're playing off the guards a little bit, so I think you have some opportunity to drive the ball in.
Tyler Edwards, who as a freshman was on that Texas Tech Final Four team. Moore on top. Edwards has the ball. Frazier's defense there. Williams goes on Moore. Across the lane. Rebound Williams. Off to Frazier and Lickety. Splitties the other way and launching a 3.
I don't mind that shot by Frazier. Sometimes you got to shoot quickly against a team that plays such great defense like Houston, but there's been other opportunities when the ball's being kicked out to him that he won't shoot the basketball.
Well, I don't have any problem with that shot either, Reggie, but I think if you're going to run in transition, you ought to try to look a little bit more for this guy right here. Of course, he's got to catch the ball.
That was a bad pass. That wasn't Luke Goody's fault right there.
Yeah, guys cutting to the corner to throw the ball at his shoe tops. It's hard.
Yeah, you can't throw it right at his shoelaces.
So Illinois, they've got to dig in defensively and create some opportunities for themselves on this end.
Robertson, Moore with the ball. Williams defends. Over Goody. Count it, and a foul. Taze Moore.
He's having himself a day, right?
Well, he's taken over this game.
Quick screen by Roberts. He just rises up. Again, crowds to the shooter. You got to give them airspace and a chance to come down. May have gotten a little bit of Moore's wrist as well.
They go back to the bench. They bring in R.J. Melendez. They take out the senior from Peoria, DeMonte Williams. At the free throw line is Taze Moore. 1,000-point score.
If you're Goody, you better block out Roberts.
Or Cheney, and Goody digs it out.
Well, he's trying.
Frazier goes screaming the other way. Goody with a 3 off. And retrieved in there by Kyler Edwards.
Again, that's what he's in the game to do, and he had an open shot. Now you got to get it back on this end.
Shed plummets into the paint. It's picked up by Kofi Coburn, and he's got 7 rebounds.
This is a little bit of a danger zone here, I think, for the Illini. You don't want to have Houston go on another big run. You got to close the gap here.
Well, how do you stop that? Get the ball down low to your All-American. Let him make a play. There you go. High-low.
Beautiful lob pass. Hard pass to make. Foul called on the shifting Coburn. That lob pass is a tough one.
And what he can also do, too, is throw it straight off the backboard, because he has him sealed down low right there.
Well, he has him sealed, and he's going this way, but the pass forces him to go down under the basket. It's not a great pass, and as a result, of course, he's going to go to the line, but Coburn got great position, but the pass wasn't perfect. And lots of times, even if you're as big as Kofi Coburn, if he's going to score inside, you have to make a perfect pass.
Coburn at the line, and he has been terrific there today, 5 of 5. Watch CBS Sports HQ for the best coverage of the big dance. Catch tournament highlights, picks, previews, recaps, and much more on the free 24/7 Sports News Network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today.
Friday's game, Kofi looked very uncomfortable at the free throw line. All these free throws today, 6 of 6, have been shot with better form, more follow through, more patience.
Good point.
He just looks like he's playing with much more, not just confidence, but pleasure. He looks like, that was really a grind on Friday, but he's really into this game today.
Edwards, and he's got the running big man Carlton, who gets his own miss. A lot of orange around him, trying to throw it out. And it will be Illinois' ball. It's off of Houston. Goody digging in there.
He's doing everything. As a freshman, hasn't played, what'd you say, the last 13 games, single-digit minutes?
Including 3 DNPs.
And now he's playing major minutes in a second round of an NCAA game. Major minutes.
Maybe better he didn't know, right? He was going to play. Setting a screen, switch on D.
Now watch the weak side. There's going to be shooters open. Move the ball.
They got Plummer over there, but the double team Coburn. Let's see if he gets it out. He does. And a whistle and a foul on Houston.
And see the weak side, the 2 shooters. You've got Plummer and Goody. This is great offense here by Brad Underwood in Illinois, but you got to get the ball to him deep in the post and make Houston double down on him. You got 2 shooters on the weak side now.
Melendez will inbound to Frazier, playing with an eye infection that's bothered him recently. He's on top. Shot clock at 9 on the wing. Plummer down low, a nest of defenders greeting Coburn. Goody for the fire. On top, Melendez driving up and down. Oh my goodness. What composure. He's 3 of 3 coming off the bench.
And the freshman shall lead us, Dan.
Well, Goody needs to stay out the three-point arc.
Why is he cutting to the basket?
I have no idea, Reggie. We'll have to talk to him about that at some point. But this is exactly the kind of little mini run that Illinois needed.
Moore melts his way into the lane, then kicks it outside. Good fake, Edwards 3. Moore flying out of the rafters and parachutes in.
I am absolutely loving Moore's game. He is doing it at both ends of the floor, too.
Melendez, Frazier. And the Illini at 23-9, working it in. The number 4 seed. Frazier, switch. Melendez, 3 to fire. Plummer, 3. Good! We are tied again. A floater on the fly, a beauty right there by Jamal Shed.
Yeah, you just have a feeling Shed and Edwards, along with Moore, getting ready to answer the bell here from Illinois.
When Coburn was open, they didn't throw him the ball.
Orchestrating will be Frazier. Shot clock again, single digits. Switch on defense. He'll dance. Goody bumped over Shed. 3 way outside. Leaping rebound, Roberts, and a foul on Frazier.
They're taking too long to get into their offense. Great defense by Houston. Plummer, who's been real quiet today, knocked down his first 3 of the day.
Back in Pittsburgh, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Like the goat. Is this fact check? Debate the goatness. It's a 2-point Houston lead. Illinois has not been to the Sweet 16 since 2005, but they're keeping it close against 5th seed Houston.
Timely shooting. Both teams, I think, playing wonderful defense. 35% shooting for the Fighting Illini, 34% shooting for Houston. Now it comes down, Dan, Who's going to be able to make consistent shots down the stretch?
Well, Houston has helped themselves, Illinois has helped themselves. They turned the ball over 6 times, or Houston had 6 steals in the first 15 minutes of this game, but Illinois hasn't surrendered any steals to them ever since then. So Houston has had to play against that set defense.
Driving inside hard and getting it to. Pretty play. Jamal Shed gliding inside for the deuce.
That's back-to-back drives there by Shed here to put the Cougs up by 4.
You just saw the winner here. We'll play the winner of Arizona, TCU, and San Antonio. In the Sweet 16, a nest of defenders around Coburn. Intercepted, picked off by Edwards.
Well, we talked about he's not comfortable of passing out of those double teams, but if you're Goody, you got to get into his line of sight. It's a foul there by Plummer.
Reggie, this is exactly what you're talking about. Here's Coburn, and he's double teamed. Now look at his teammates. There's one here. Where is everybody else? The ball goes inside. He has to be able to see you. Now he's going to try to throw it all the way across the court, but where's Goody? You got to go someplace where you can make it so he can throw you the ball easily.
Shed adjusts with a 15-footer. He's hit 2 in a row.
3 in a row. 6-0 run here by Shed alone to put Houston up 6.
Since we were tied at 40. Goody, Plummer, and Frazier.
How about this? Carlton back on the floor to guard the big fella.
It's Goody into Coburn. Doubled, shot clock at 4, twisting, turning. It's knocked away. What great defense by the Houston Cougars. And here comes Shed. Edwards lost it. Plummer, Melendez.
No. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. First of all, his momentum is taking him with him. He has to swing back. You cannot give this young man a technical foul for this. He's not showing up or anything, because if he doesn't, he is going to almost kill himself. You've got to swing on the rim right here. Your momentum is bringing you back. Because if he doesn't, if he lets go right now, he's going to hit his head and fall on his back.
At the free throw line is Jamal Shed. As we go to Gene's territory with the free throw good, and Gene a 5-point Houston lead. What'd you see on that dunk?
Reggie makes a good point. Look, his momentum is moving so fast that he's holding himself there to avoid going forward and maybe hitting the stanchion or falling himself. There isn't anybody under him, which is really the specific rule they look for. But I don't think there's a chin up there. There's nothing extended. And I would have liked to see him stay away from a technical foul on that play, guys.
But they called it, Gene. Thank you. Edwards on top. We're approaching 8 to play. The winner to the Sweet 16. Way outside. In and out from Shed. Rebound is inhaled by Coburn. And he's got 8.
Got to get the ball in Coburn's hands early in the possession.
There it is.
Drive.
There it is.
Coburn inside. Counted for 2 and a foul.
And you can get the ball to him without just posting him up all the time. That time is just a simple screen and roll. It's hard to guard this guy. He's going to the basket. That is really a nice play, and Coburn is going to have a chance to bring him closer.
And now thrilling drives presented by Nissan.
Yeah, and Houston wants a chance to get back to the Sweet 16. More plays like this from Moore, who's been outstanding today. 17 points, but how beautiful is this in the open court?
That was one of the 6 first-half steals that Houston was able to create. And when they did that, they got out. And, I mean, on the day, Reggie, Houston is only shooting 36%. So every easy basket they get has really been a help.
Frazier fed Coburn. Coburn got it to go. Fouled on the play at the line. A perfect 6 of 6 this afternoon. Shed picked up his 3rd foul for the Cougars, who haven't beaten a single-digit seed in the tournament since 1984 in the Final Four with Phi Slamajama.
Coach, I guarantee you Kofi yesterday's practice probably shot 200 to 300 free throws as practice was winding down because his stroke looks great from the charity stripe.
Here comes Moore with a spin and a 2. He's as slippery as a raindrop. Man, tough to guard him.
And he's fearless. He doesn't mind going into Coburn because he knows he can jump up over him.
7.5 to go. Melendez.
How about the heavy minutes these two freshmen are playing here in the second half?
They've energized him, right? They've energized him.
Right, but if they're going to play these minutes, they got to produce some offense because they're having a hard time defensively.
Yeah, but sometimes just the threat of being on the floor is good enough.
There's Melendez thinking 3, shot clock at 2. Goody got it, knocked away, rejected inside by Josh Carlton. And a shot clock violation.
And a long time on the bench. Corbello and Hawkins.
Corbello hasn't played the second half.
And these are two guys that were huge in that first round victory.
Plus 18 for Corbello, but he had 6 turnovers, clearly a concern. Let's go to Dana.
As you mentioned that Corbello's on the bench, but he told us yesterday one of the things these guys always do, they're the ones talking in the huddle, not just their head coach, and that's what he was doing, reminding his teammates, stay together, play together, keep talking out there. So even though he's not on the floor, he's still having that impact.
There's an
offensive foul, and that's number 4 on Carlton. Number 4 on Carlton.
One of the reasons that Corbello is on the bench is he's a guy who's creative with the ball in the open floor, and you haven't just seen very much of that tonight. And Carlton, you know, those illegal screens get called all the time, and you got to save all your fouls for guarding Coburn.
Oh, get right down to Kofi. Put the pressure on him.
Look at him ram his way inside. Lost the ball, loose in there, collected by Carlton.
Yeah, but I like it. Put the pressure on the official to call it.
It's a great job by Carlton and White to hold their ground.
Chaney at the scorer's table coming in for Carlton.
Shed. Outside. That's good.
Was that Edwards? Edwards again for another 3.
Boy,
his 3rd.
What a sharpshooter. His 3rd 3 today. Tyler Edwards. He has been a leader on this team. He's played in big games. 10th NCAA tournament game for Edwards. Knocked away. Deflected by Carlton and out of bounds with the defense of the Cougars.
Well, Shed does such a great job, Kevin, getting into the lane. We saw 3 times in a row where he got into the lane. People were playing him for a pass. He took the shot. That time they played him for the shot. He made the pass, and Edwards has been really good from 3 in this particular bracket.
Yeah, his dad, Kelvin, was a wide receiver in the NFL with the Saints and Cowboys. See what wide receivers are getting these days with the paycheck. He wishes he were playing now. Well, they got him hemmed in, and a turnover. They got him in a straight jacket, and it turned the ball over, and here come the Cougars.
Somebody's got to come and help him. Houston, they've just been relentless on the defensive end, and now they've pushed their lead out.
Shed,
Edwards have been that 1-2 punch that Calvin Sampson's been looking for. Look how animated he is.
Shed has 14 points. He averages 9. He's known for setting up plays, but right now he's propelled the Cougars on top. Houston has made 5 of their last 6, 4 of 4 by Shed, the sophomore.
Yeah, in the second half, I thought he's really put Houston on his shoulders. His ability, you talk about creating, but it's been his offense here in the second half.
A guy like that, Reggie, you sort of play him to pass because he's such a great passer, but he scored 9 of those 14 here in the second half and 9 of his team's last 14 points. Just as you thought Illinois might be able to close the gap and go ahead, Houston gets a nice little run out.
So Shed, who is known more for his assist work and setting up others, in fact, he has the most Houston assists by a Cougar player since the 84-85 season. Reed Geddes, and is one of the top 10 in that category nationally, is scoring and leading the way today for Houston.
This is the most important offensive possession here for Illinois. They've got to score here, and they turn it over. They turn it over out of that timeout.
They're standing there waiting for him, Reg, and so you don't try to force feed Coburn. Move the ball to the other side, let Coburn change positions, and so he has a better opportunity.
Williams back in defensively for the Illini, a two-time All-Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Edwards maneuvers. 3, White. Rebound by Plummer. Plummer again, got the screen. He'll take a long shot, sticks it, sticks it. Fouled on the play, send him to the line. The tray is good.
Potential 4-point play here by Plummer. We talked about his offense in the second half on Friday. Look at this, just rises up, and there's the contact. They've been calling that all today. Crowding the shooters. What a big bucket here.
That desperately needed.
Oh my goodness.
And he really had no choice. That was a very contested shot, but the defense was collapsing around Coburn, so it was a good job to get it up to the basket.
Goody is out. They bring in the sophomore from Sacramento, Coleman Hawkins, who started the game. Full court pressure. Moore tries to get by and does, gushing into the lane. And outside they go. Approaching 4.5 to play. The winner to the Sweet 16.
When you're trading offense for defense with Hawkins and Goody. But Hawkins has been over on the bench a long time.
It's Shed maneuvering. Again, 16 for Shed.
Hawkins is not warmed up. He's been sitting for a while. Now you're asked to try to guard the hottest guy on the floor for Houston.
There goes Plummer. Plummer again meeting the blitz on top every time. Shot clock at 6. Going inside 3. Frazier, no. It's tipped and saved by White, and White the ball! What did we just see with that play? What a save! What a finish!
That was absolutely spectacular there by Fabian.
It's lost and saved, and the Cougar out of bounds, and a wet's on.
They're going to call a foul on Coburn.
They are indeed.
That is 2 back-to-back unbelievable plays by Fabian White Jr. I mean,
what hustle.
This is special. Ball coming towards us. He saves it right into the hands. Wow.
Back in Pittsburgh, watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code now to download.
Fabian White Jr., watch this save again. I'm getting ready to catch the basketball. More importantly, look at my partner Dan Bonner's face.
I'm getting out of the way. I'm an old guy. I don't need him in my lap.
To do that. You were smart to do that.
Wow.
Dana?
Guys, the Houston players told us yesterday it's plays like that they use to demoralize the other team. And I was in the Illinois huddle, and there was a message right at the very end. Gotta believe, gotta fight. It goes without saying, but you could see the look in their eyes and being reminded that's the start of it all.
Here's the winningest player in the history of the program, Fabian White. Graduate student, he's playing in his 12th NCAA tournament game, and it shows, and he knocks down a couple beauties.
Think about that. The winningest player in this program's history making plays like that. That's how you sell a program.
Plummer unleashes a 3. Leaping rebound by the aforementioned Fabian White. 3.5 to go to the Sweet 16.
Obviously, you need stops and you need to score, and Illinois has had a tough time getting stops here in the last few minutes, and they've had a tough time scoring the whole game.
There goes Shed, finagling his way into the defense of Plummer. Out, wide open, White.
Who else? Who else, Dan?
It's all going down, Reggie, and this is a team that they have 15 offensive rebounds. They've created 16 turnovers. They have 8 steals, and now they're on a 9-0 run.
Goody back in, launches a 3. A fight for it, collected inside by White.
White now 7 rebounds. Just knocked down that big 3, 6-point The hustle, the steals, the defense.
And now Houston's going to sit on a little bit.
As they should.
With the way they guard, and 14 is a huge lead.
And Shed was thrashing his way into Plummer. Foul called on Plummer of Illinois.
Look at the ball movement.
Absolutely, and there's Shed. He's right in the middle of it. The defense collapses on him. He gets it out to Edwards, and Edwards finds Fabian White. And White is an outstanding shooter. He shoots over 40% from beyond the arc.
And Shed with the hockey assist. He's the one that started it all, as you mentioned. But they've all played great. Shed, Moore has been just terrific. Edwards.
Well, they haven't gotten very many points, Reggie, but I thought Roberts and Chaney, when you had foul trouble for Houston early in the game, I thought they came in and they contributed very well. Between the two of those guys, they have 11 rebounds, 5 of them offensive.
Star Trek Picard is back. The highly anticipated new season is now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. Head to ParamountPlus.com to try it for free.
And I know people are going to look at this score and thinking, wow, they blew them out. This was a well-played game up into the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Shed with 18. He's matched a season high. Defense by Moore. Frazier trying to work his way around. Exploding is Williams. Cross court. Plummer in a triple. Williams with a miss. And he'll grab the ball. And Frazier in the corner and he stepped out of bounds.
Now Houston can sense it, right? Playing to their fan base here in the building. But man, this all started defensively to me for Houston.
There's Shed again, 11-0 Houston run. Looking, the Cougars are for their 3rd consecutive Sweet 16 in the Final Four a season ago.
Kevin, and with the way they can guard you, I mean, they totally disrupt what you're trying to do offensively. You need to have some offensive weapons if you're going up against these guys.
And they all can handle the basketball, right? They all take turns. They all can shoot. They all defend.
Shed into Frazier. Out to Edwards.
Well, Kelvin Sampson, actually, he has this little routine where he talks about how his guys can't shoot, and that's why they have to rebound so well. But
White lets it rip from the corner, and a rebound by Hawkins.
they are more than capable of shooting the basketball.
It's Melendez to Coburn. Puts on the brakes, got the 2, timeout Illinois. In a 14-point Houston lead with 1:25 to go. Well, while we were away, Underwood said, I didn't call timeout, but the officials thought he did, and they took the time. And now they've discussed it, and they're going to play.
So no timeout.
No timeout, no.
Okay.
It's Moore again as they try to eat up some time. Back to Shed with his 18 points.
It's just like the old 4 corners.
No, don't bring that back up. And look, Fabian White Jr. is bleeding from his eye.
Boy, he sure is.
He's bleeding from his eye.
It's Shed outside to Edwards. Inside to Chaney and a shot clock violation. I think there was a Bond villain that bled from the eye.
I think he's
You're the
bleeding
Bond
from the
aficionado. You know this.
Shreef, what was his name? Sheaf, I think was his name.
Oh, good heavens.
I know, I'm just throwing that in there. And now they call the timeout because they see the blood.
Shot clock didn't start.
It's a cut beneath the eye.
Yeah, but that's going to add to his street cred
His
right
aura,
there.
yeah.
Oh,
Melendez
took a
is-
shot from Melendez right there.
Well, he's wiped it off, so you can't see he's bleeding now.
Under a minute to go. Oh, they're all over him. Holding, tie up. Frazier was jousting right there, grappling with Reggie Chaney. And a foul called on Walker of Houston away from the ball. And the kid who was bleeding is just taking his hand and wiping the blood away. It's gone. He's a quick healer. So here is Trent Frazier, who is a senior, a 4-year starter. Played as much as anybody has ever played in the program, second all time. Over 1,800 points, but he is looking at a second consecutive year, it appears, of a second-round loss after being a high seed and a Big Ten champion.
Kevin, when you get to, well, first of all, you've got to get in this tournament to be able to win it and advance. But once you get here, you have to be healthy and you have to make shots. Eventually, you have to make shots. And Illinois was very fortunate to survive the other day when they didn't make shots, and they didn't make shots again today. And this is a really good Houston team.
Darting down low, Shed. Fouled by Frazier.
Oh, look at this.
This is something else.
Beautiful dribbling display here by Jamal Shed.
Just
Why not?
exploding all over the floor. Wow. Now they double him with Hawkins and back to White. Houston is going to the Sweet 16 for a third consecutive year. Edwards three, card! And that is all she wrote. Frazier three, missed it all, sails out of bounds. Illinois, this season, Big Ten champs, number 4 seed. As they watch Edwards can another one, he's got 15. Last season, Illinois, a Big Ten tournament title and the number 1 seed. In both years, second-round departure.
Yeah, I will say this. Houston, they're not a 5 seed. I'm sorry. I know they're not from a Power 5, but this is not a 5 seed.
The Houston Cougars are going to the Sweet 16. And Calvin Sampson and this program have just beaten a single-digit seed for the first time in the program's long history since 1984, when they went to the Final Four. Sampson has lost his last 5 tournament games against single-digit seeds, but not today. And Houston advances. And they'll take on the winner of Arizona and TCU to Dana Jacobson.
Coach, your third straight trip to the Sweet 16. I can't imagine that gets old hearing it.
No, I'm just proud of my kids. They, we work so hard. During the year, summers, falls, turns into winters, and you have ups and downs. We've had a lot of adversity with this group, but they never stop believing. Extremely coachable, follow instructions. They're a joy to coach, so I'm really happy for them.
Well, Coach, especially this year, we talked about it going into the game. You lose 2 of your top 4 scorers in December. I know it's next man up here, but is there something different about this team this year?
Well, I just think these guys stand on the shoulders of all those players that came before them. They believe in our culture. When we talk about watering trees, we don't water leaves, we water roots. And our roots, the roots in this program is our culture. And every one of these kids buy into it, and that's why we're successful.
They're having a lot of fun, and I'm glad you guys are able to celebrate this win together. Go enjoy it with them.
Dana.
Calvin Sampson, who stepped away from the college game, went to the NBA. He got into scouting. He said, I needed to learn offense, and that's what I did in the league, and I transport that now to college. And for Illinois, another disappointing end to a season. Coming up on CBS, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes against the Villanova Wildcats. We'll send you to our studios for the Capital One Tournament Central right after this on CBS.